So I just want to record a video. I just want to record what this is, right? Because I feel like seeing what Keir Starmer posted today, it looks like we might be heading into a time where you can't say certain things. I've been saying this for like 5 years. People have been saying it for like 100 years that they're going to take away our creativity. They're going to take away our freedom. I posted like what a few days ago when all this shit started saying when all these riots in the UK started saying they're doing this to do that they're going to be there's a reason that they're doing this. I was saying to my to somebody that I know who was talking about if he was at the riots he would have been causing violence, seemingly saying that he was on the side of the white English side, and I said, look, this is a plan to get all the poor and the working class to turn against each other. Do you know what I mean? And after that, they're going to take away. They're going to say that we couldn't handle social media without we can't handle free opinions without resorting to violence and destruction. Um, so obvious that that's what's happening. You know, it's crazy. It's insane that we all can't see this. You know, and the thing is like what we have to understand is that there are bad people of every race. It's just the same as like when people think that women are there to be cared for and looked after. Like women are pieces of shit too, you know. Like it is ridiculously sexist to not think that is the case. It is ridiculously racist to not think that there aren't piece of shit immigrants, you know, and like some of these people are working for governments who are working with our government, and they're coming over here and they're inciting hatred to get the results that they've just gotten, you know. And there are a lot of English people that work for the government who are also inciting this hatred, man. They're turning us all against each other. So with that in mind, where they might start banning artwork soon, I guess what that's going to result in is hopefully what that's going to result in is private members clubs and shit, you know, like they have rich people's private members clubs, right? Like I think that what we might need to do is take it back to private members clubs where we don't allow certain people in. I think that that's what's going to have to happen, maybe in order to share our opinions and share our art. It's just unfortunate that there are rats everywhere, really, you know. So I thought that I'd just give a quick explanation of what this is, of the photo that I just drew. I guess I'll call it. Can you tell what it is yet? Um, because what I don't want is I have no problem getting put behind bars for shit that I am doing. Do you know what I mean? This isn't a way to get out of getting any persecution or getting locked up or getting the post taken down. Okay? This is a way of saying I'm going to do what I'm going to do. I just don't want you to say, look at this, it's racist for this reason. Look at this, it's sexist for this reason. So I'm going to tell you what my intention was when I did this. And if you want to infer that there are things about my psychology, go ahead. I don't care. I'm telling you what my intention was, what the reasons that I drew these things were. Again, because I have no problem with being put in handcuffs for my actual views and shit that I actually care about. But I refuse to get put behind bars because people are putting words in my mouth. So, it's like what this is. This is the Archbishop of Canterbury, who's been a bit of a favourite of mine, and this is the third time I've drawn him, I think. So this is the Archbishop of Canterbury with the that's a six-pointed star on his head and a swastika. You can do research into what that symbol is if you like. Then he's wearing a headscarf. I feel like one of the things that we say about Muslim women and also gypsy kid. There was a big carnival behind me the other day. And gypsies is that it's a common sort of thing, isn't it? Like old school Jews, gypsies, Muslim women all wear these sort of like headdresses, right? So I figured that what I would do is paint the head of the UK church, the head of the Church of England, in a headdress, which looks more like a gypsy headdress, but still something that Muslim women have to wear, with a swastika on the middle of his head, with sort of like what you would think is a Jewish star surrounding the swastika. And mind, he's also wearing a lovely little tea leaf. He's also wearing a little tree leaf uh, earring there as well. So, and what my intention was behind that was to say they're all in on this together. You know what I mean? Like the all near enough everybody that is in any religion like this, they all believe in that pyramid. They all believe in that shit rolls downhill. They all believe that there is a bottom and that there is a top. And they all trick people on the bottom. They all trick poor people. They all trick working class people into believing that you are the same, that your life should be just as happy and that you shouldn't want for money, whilst they then give all of their favorites shitloads of money. Anybody that will carry out what they want to carry out for them. Slavery, essentially. Slavery and imprisonment of the rest of us. Um, he's also wearing a little like boots. Obviously, there's so much more to that, but like I just want need to give a brief description. Do you know what I mean? And essentially, I also think that this is what England is right now. This is all of them. This is the Western world, which is why he's wearing a Boots HR um, lanyard. I had quite a lot of issues with Boots HR. They also refused to acknowledge any of my complaints whilst I was there. They just bullied me out of the company when I said, "Hey, you're prostituting women. Your general manager is prostituting women. You're drugging people at work. There are documentaries about how you've done this before. Why are you still doing this?" Kind of their bad business practices. I wrote like a 10,000 word document. They just bullied me out of the company for writing it. I started to talk about how what they were doing was completely and utterly illegal. They had team leaders saying, thinking that I was on their side, saying, "Yeah, you're so clever." When I was explaining how they were doing things like intentionally using their management team to bully the people that were coming through on the Christmas temp schedule, because it would have been illegal for them to not have Christmas temps in because they wouldn't have had the amount of people that they needed legally on the phones to supplement their industry with regard to the requirements for medication and with what they were selling in terms of their products. I said that they didn't give them adequate training and that they didn't care and that they tried to push mental health issues onto all of these people, knowing that they took them from universal credit from people that were signing on, knowing that that would mean that there were people that would more than likely leave come February. The reason being because they don't want to pay these people all year round. They wanted to push them out of the company. They literally just wanted bodies on the phone. They didn't give a fuck about the people calling up saying, "I'm suicidal because I'm getting bullied at my pharmacy." They didn't give a fuck about that, man. They wanted to put numbers on a sheet so that they couldn't be fined. And I was going, that's illegal. Do you know what I mean? Like you're just getting round legality there. And they went, no, no, sorry. They thought I was their mate. They put me on the leadership team and went, "You're very clever, you are." I was like, I'm not trying to be your fucking mate, bruv. They thought that I was doing all of it to fuck with them. They were like, "Oh wow, somebody to stand up to me." I was like, "I'm not doing this to stand up to you. This is wrong." Do you know what I mean? I was like, "Yo, this is not fucking okay, man. This is not okay." Regardless of the racism that I experienced there, not towards me, but towards seemingly just black people, um, the crazy levels of sexism, insane, homophobia, insane. So I figured that because it's run by Sebastian James Billingsworth, who was best friends with James Cameron, David Cameron. Well, I forget which one's which. Um, I figured, you know, so close to the Tory ethos, so close to the Tories' heart. I also, I don't know if you can notice. Obviously, it's in grey and white. I'm refusing to draw in black and white anymore because I feel like that black and white are the colours of the police, and the black and white are the gang colours seemingly of the police and of the of the UK church, and I figure like I'm not one of you, man. If you're gonna keep telling people I'm one of you for drawing in black and white, it's just because I'm colorblind. Do you know what I mean? It looks good to me to have it in standout black and white, but if you're gonna start telling people that I'm on your team from drawing in your colors, then I'm drawing in grey and white. You can fuck off. So I've then drawn this guy. What's his name? Archbishop of Canterbury, drawing two stick children behind bars. Oh, sorry. The reason for the denim shirt, you can't tell it's denim because it's obviously not blue, but I figured the reason for the denim cowboy shirt was denim is slang for wash. So when you operate a drug wash or when you operate a wash in terms of you refer to a drug wash as denim because it shrinks in the wash. If you're bashing cocaine, you're shrinking it in the wash, right? So like that's why I drew the dude in the um you're drinking your money in the wash. It's also like when you're washing cocaine, you're getting rid of all the impurities. So that's why I drew that's why I got the denim shirt on there. Um, the stick kids behind bars. So obviously he's painting that on a little canvas. The stick kids because apparently I am a stick child. They keep referring to me as like a tree. Um, because I'm from a forest, I guess. Sherwood Forest, Nottingham Forest, you know. Um, and also I have a lot of views on our industry that cuts down trees as well. I think that we make too much waste products. There's a whole thing with masons where they realized like 100 years ago that you could sell somebody a table that would last forever, or you could sell somebody a table that was going to break every year, so that they paid the same amount for the next table the year afterwards. I think that that is why trees want to kill us. So yeah, I'm from Sherwood Forest and whatever, so I figured like stick children drawn in grey and white behind bars, seeming I feel like I'm in prison. I mean, even if you just look at it on terms of acts, like within the first week, I was banned for 24 hours for saying that it was cruel as fuck for that horse to be whipped. Why are you allowed to like? If you hit a dog or a cat, if it's animal cruelty to a dog or a cat, you get like a huge fine, right? Like, apparently you can whip the shit out of horses if they're making you money, though. That seems mental. And I got banned for 24 hours and I got a flag applied to my account. They said I can't like anything and I can't, and my comments won't be seen. Um, so I figured that there's lots of ways that we're all imprisoned here. Like I felt like Boots did that to me. Like basically the whole Boots system and a lot of call centers these days are set up like based on what is called a panopticon, which was essentially a way for one prison guard to rule over like 20 prisoners. Nowadays they refer to the call centers electronic panopticons with regard to like saying you're going to go on your break at this exact time. If you go 1 second over the break, you will be pulled up into a meeting. You have these people bullying you all around you. You have stuff like you're only allowed a certain amount of toilet breaks, or you're pulled into an office to ask why you're in a toilet break at a certain time. Um, these crazy rules, like even down to the fact that they don't want you to do exercise. They want to fill you full of like sugary snacks and crap, because they know that if you're that like all the like what are they called? Chocolate sweet dispensers, like all of them had chocolate bars, bags of crisps, cans of Coke, right? Sugary drinks, no healthy shit. The healthy shit would be like an apple that looked about fucking 6 weeks old. Do you know what I mean? With some fucking worms crawling through it, like what the fuck? Like constantly, or just some like brown bread with a slice of ham in the middle. That was their healthy option. Do you know what I mean? Um, so making the healthy options look unappealable, like unappealing. When I tried to tell people like, oh, like it would be cool if we had stuff like this, ergonomic desks. It would be cool if like We could have those little like cycling things under your desk. And when I started doing stuff like using a little hand grip like this and using what are they called? I've got them just down there. Tension bands. I was just getting laughed at and bullied by the like it was crazy that they push people to smoke because they say that you get to do your best politicking when you're outside in the smoking area. Uh, and all of that is because if you cared about your health, if you started reaping the benefits of doing exercise, you would start to be better looking. Your brain would start to be firing better. If you started eating healthily, getting more vitamins, getting more nutrients, you would start to care about your life and you would not want to be answering the phone for somebody complaining about being unable to get a refund on a fucking pair of hair straighteners. Do you know what I mean? You're going to go like, why am I doing this for a big company that just got fined 15 billion for spiking a bunch of people in the US for opium? Why am I going to do this for literally for a company that has just murdered people en masse in the USA and didn't give a fuck about a fine of like I think it was 6 billion, maybe it was more than that, maybe it was 15 billion, because they're making a trillion a year off murdering people. Why would they give a fuck about a small fine for 1 year? You know. Um. So yeah, I could go on about that shit all day, but like I guess that's me, and I guess that's also just men and women. Just men and women in the UK. All I can talk about is what's around me, I guess. But it seems like this is all around the world. It seems like this is in Iran, in Israel, in Palestine, in Australians seem quite happy. Seems like this is in the US. Seems like this is in France. Seems like this is in Italy. Seems like we're all behind these bars and have been for a long time. Um, I put the clock as 3:16 because one, it looks like an arrow firing straight to that. I guess the Robin Hood forest thing. I also feel like this is all part of theft. I felt like Stone Cold was a great inspiration for me as a child, by the way. Also, I feel like I don't know, people say like it's sub-zero bars and whatever, like I put on each of the spines of the books Wikipedia, and I guess that my reasoning for the expensive looking bookcase was to represent university. That essentially so many people are wasting time, but just basically reading a bunch of books that you can just read. You can just read the whole thing on Wikipedia, let alone just go to a library. You can just go online and just go, what did Harvard study 2 years ago? What was the course for Harvard 3 years ago in for law? You can just go and get all of those books. You just read all those books. You can just read the summaries of them on Wikipedia. If you're of a decent mind state and if you're reasonably intelligent, you can read a summary on Wikipedia about a book on psychology that they study in Oxford, and you can just put all that shit together in your head. Essentially, for me, what somebody saying that I went to university or that I spent 15 years learning piano is basically a way of going, wow, you really did slave there because you didn't learn anything quite clearly. Do you know what I mean? You were a good slave is essentially what they're doing. Um, so I figured like, yeah, all the books in the university library are just there to steal your time in a large expensive bookcase, which has the door open for the doors open to just go on Wikipedia anyway. Um, So yeah, that was about everything really. I felt like this guy just I felt like the way that he's looking at me, it was very representative of like those sort of old style art attack shows. I feel like this is my attack using art. But I feel like, that there has been a lot of accusations of fucking kids aimed at the Catholic and the Protestant and the Islamic and the Jewish church for a long time now. And I feel like BBC, who essentially is on the leash of the UK church and of the monarchy, just keep getting, Rolf Harris being a prime example, just keep getting um, presenter after presenter getting sent down for paedophilia. Hugh Edwards was the most recent one, and I feel like This is just so I felt like if you can't tell what it is yet, obviously I'm telling you. I felt like can you tell what it is yet is a good way of describing it because I'm essentially saying that this Archbishop of Canterbury is Rolf Harris, you know. And it's funny because like this is what their art is essentially. This is what all of their religious texts, their Bibles, their Qurans, their don't know what the Jewish one's called, don't know what the Buddhist one's called, like the Greek fucking I like Greek philosophy, man. They try to wake you the fuck up, you know. A lot of these people try to wake you the fuck up, seemingly not our churches, not our present day churches. Um, And I guess that what every one of these books are doing is just painting us into a prison. You know, that's what their art is. It's to just paint us into a prison from the day that we become those little stick children, you know. Please don't read into the triangles on a head in any weird way. Um, but yeah, that was everything that I intentionally put in there. Um, oh yeah, also borders. I feel like there's a big border argument right now, isn't there? I'm sure there might be a few things I've missed out, but I would rather if you're going to, I just feel like doing these. I feel like people in the art world go, that's cheating," and I feel like, well, no, because I would rather do what you perceive to be cheat as cheating. I would rather do that than have somebody take this and try and make it what they want it to be. Because if you steal after this explanation, if you steal this and make this into something that you want it to be, well, then you're doing me a favor. You're making me feel obscenely powerful, you know, because essentially for anybody that is telling me that they have a lot of money and a lot of power, for you to come and take someone from for you to come and take somebody's creativity from somebody that has nothing, it really means that you have absolutely fuck all. With all that paper and with all that power, you have to come and take somebody that is isolated and broke. Do you know what I mean? I'm living off the cheapest beef mince and a bag of rice and some vegetables for the next 2 weeks. I know that people will have less than that. I know that people don't have a roof over their head. But for people that have 10 properties, the control of an army and a police force, do you know what I mean? All the money in Hollywood, for you to come and have to steal from me is a hilarious concept. For you to be selling money is everything. Do you know what I mean? And for me to have nothing and for you to be stealing from me is fills me with a phenomenal amount of power, if to be perfectly frank.